All right, let's jump right into this. Welcome to today's explainer, where we're taking on an absolute masterpiece of texture and flavor, authentic catfish Prik Khing. If you're someone who loves a culinary challenge, the kind that rewards you with just an incredible sensory experience, well, you are definitely in the right place. Today, we're breaking down the exact step-by-step methods to help you make the most delicious Prik Khing imaginable. We are talking perfectly golden, super fluffy catfish, a deep, aromatic curry paste, and the precise technique that ties the whole shebang flawlessly together.
But, before we even get to the cooking part, we've got to address the elephant in the room. How on earth do you keep fried fish crispy even after it's been completely coated in a rich curry paste? I mean, it's the ultimate culinary dilemma, right? The real secret to this dish is finding that exact delicate balance. You want a deeply flavorful, vibrant sauce, but absolutely no one wants to turn their beautifully fried fish into a soggy disaster. Literally everything we go over today revolves around solving this one specific challenge. So let's break down exactly how it's done. Section 1, removing the fishy smell. Okay, so the secret to removing that strong, muddy, kind of fishy odor, it all lies in the science of your prep work. See, catfish naturally have this really thick layer of slime on their skin, and that is exactly where the smell lives. To conquer this, you're going to take your catfish pieces and add coarse salt, followed by some flour. You can use tapioca, rice, or corn flour, whatever you have. The flour essentially acts as an abrasive binder. When you rub the fish, the flour and salt physically grip onto that thick slime, pulling it away completely. It's like a mini spa treatment for the fish. Wash it thoroughly under clean water, and you're left with absolutely pristine fish. But listen, here is the critical final step. You have to pat that fish completely dry with paper towels. If you leave even a little water on the fish, you are going to face some seriously dangerous oil explosions in our next step. Section 2, frying crispy, fluffy catfish. Now, if you want to know how to fry catfish so it's amazingly crispy and fluffy, it all comes down to temperature. The secret to that perfect golden crunch actually starts before the fish even touches the pan. Your pan and a pretty generous amount of cooking oil must be extremely hot. If you drop the fish into just moderately warm oil, it's going to soak up all that grease and become heavy and gross instead of light and crispy. You are looking for that immediate, aggressive sizzle the second your dried catfish is introduced to the pan. And your next secret ingredient? Patience. 7 to 8. That is the magic number of minutes you absolutely must wait once the fish hits the hot oil. I know. It's so tempting to grab a spatula and start moving things around just to check on it. But you have to resist every single urge to touch that fish. Just let it do its thing. And here is exactly why that patience matters so much. If you stir immediately, poking and prodding the catfish while it's still soft, that delicate flesh is going to stick straight to the bottom of the pan. It'll tear apart, and you'll end up with an unappetizing mush. The right way, the only way really, is leaving it entirely untouched for those full 7 to 8 minutes. By doing this, a solid golden crust forms on the bottom. Once it's fully developed, the fish naturally releases itself from the pan, allowing you to slide your spatula right under a beautiful, intact raft of crispy fish. So, once you easily flip that pristine raft of fish, you're going to fry the second side for a slightly shorter duration. We're talking about 3 to 5 minutes. Now, the source material actually recommends doing one final, super quick flip right at the end just to drive out any lingering moisture. Then pull the fish out of the oil to drain. And here is a fantastic pro tip for you. Let the fish cool down slightly before you try to break it apart. As it releases its heat, the whole structure firms up. Then you can easily use your hands to separate it into beautiful individual chunks, where even the tiny bones have this incredible crunch. Section 3, perfecting the chili paste. Building this iconic flavor profile requires a few absolute essentials. Notice the traditional use of pork fat here. This is highly recommended by our source because it adds this rich, wonderfully distinct aroma that you just don't get if you use standard vegetable oil. We combine this with a vibrant red curry paste. For seasoning, the traditional choice pairs a savory fish sauce with palm sugar, which gives a really beautifully rounded, earthy sweetness to balance out the fierce heat of the chilies. And finally, the aromatics. Thinly sliced kefir lime leaves and fresh red chilies for a massive visual and flavorful punch. The technique for blooming your paste is absolutely crucial. You want to stir-fry the red curry paste in that pork fat over a medium heat. Seriously, don't rush this with a high flame. Gently coax out the essential oils until the paste becomes intensely fragrant and turns this deep, rich, almost brick red. As you add your palm sugar and your fish sauce, you can add tiny, and I mean tiny, drops of water just to help the sugar dissolve and to stop the paste from burning. But you have to remember this absolute golden rule. Keep the paste dry to keep the fish crispy. If you add way too much water and turn your chili paste into a soup, well, all that hard work you put into frying the catfish is going to be ruined the very second they touch. That coveted crunch will instantly vanish. You are aiming for a thick, glossy, sticky paste that's going to beautifully coat the fish, not drown it. Section 4. The final delicious mix.
Okay, so once your curry paste is deeply colored, fragrant, and perfectly thick and sticky, it's finally time to bring it all together. You're going to drop those perfectly fried, crispy chunks of catfish straight into the pan. Follow that up immediately with a generous handful of those finely julienned kaffir lime leaves and your sliced red chilies. Let me tell you, the aroma in your kitchen at this exact stage will be absolutely incredible. Now for this final technique, speed is everything. The very moment everything is in the pan, crank that heat up to high. You want to execute a fast, dynamic toss. Your only goal here is to get that sticky, sweet, and spicy paste to quickly coat the outside of the crispy catfish pieces. Do not just let it sit there and cook. Toss it just enough to coat and then immediately kill the heat. Turn off the stove. The residual heat left in the pan is literally all you need to release the essential oils from the kaffir lime leaves without allowing the fish to sit there, absorb liquid, and lose its crunch. And there you have it, the precise, methodical breakdown of how to achieve absolutely flawless flavor and texture. It really is all about moisture control, right? From the washing and the drying to getting that oil piping hot, right down to maintaining a sticky, dry curry paste. So, are you ready to elevate your culinary skills and master the crunch of authentic catfish Prik Khing? With these expert methods now securely in your toolkit, the only question left for you is, next time you're walking through the market, are you going to walk right past the catfish, or will you take it home and conquer the crunch? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope you're inspired to get into the kitchen and start cooking.